Hello, welcome to A Few Minutes with Esther. I'm Buddy Pennington, pastor of Westville Assembly of God in Holmes County, Florida, the host for the study. In this video, we're going to take a look at the end of chapter number 7. Up to this point in chapter 7, the king has just discovered that it is Haman who has set a plan into motion that would kill the queen's people and the queen herself. He is furious at this situation and goes out into the palace garden to gain his composure. Haman sees that he is not in a good state with the king, and he throws himself at the feet of Queen Esther, so to speak. And in this case, he winds up on the same couch or bedding that she would have been lying on for the meal. The king walked back into the situation and discovers Haman close to his queen. And he says, would he try to force himself on the queen right here in the house in front of me? The king's attendants covered Haman's head. Now, at that time in history, whenever that happened, that meant doom for the individual who had been covered. One of the chamberlains, Harbona, informed the king that Mordecai was destined to be impaled on a pole that Haman had set up. The king said, in that case, take Haman and impale him on that pole instead. The King James Version of this particular part of the scripture describes it as being a gallows. Well, the word that was used for gallows in the King James could have been a pole that was sharpened to impale people on. The king has condemned Haman to the punishment that Haman wanted for Mordecai. He has condemned him to death, and he is going to die instead of the Jews and Queen Esther. Now, at this point in our story, there's something I'd like to point out to you. It's ironic that Haman wound up being killed with the very instrument that he had planned on killing Mordecai. And sometimes God will put evil people into a position in which the destruction that they are trying to bring on someone else is the destruction that comes into their own lives. It is one of the ways that God deals with the evil and wicked people who infest the world with their schemes and divisions and lies. Allow me to encourage you about something. God has a plan of punishment for evildoers. And in all eternity, they are going to be separated from the presence of God and placed into the lake of fire along with the devil and his angels and the false prophet and the beast. They will have to suffer through all eternity in that lake of fire. Be encouraged by the knowledge that God will deal with evil people eventually. It's my hope that these studies will be a blessing to you. We're going to continue with the book of Esther in the next video and move into chapter number 8. We're not finished with the great saga of her story yet. May God richly bless you until we meet next time for A Few Minutes with Esther.